Blackburn joins us now to offer her perspective on how this went today. Senator, welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be with you, and it was quite a hearing.
It was. Okay, Lee Smith tweeting this today. Sally Yates' show is part 3 of ongoing cover-up blaming anti-Trump operation on Comey, starting with Susan Rice email, then Brennan, not to exculpate Comey, but increasingly clear that former Obama administration officials have set up ex-FBI director as Obama's fall guy. What do you make of what you heard today and what Ms. Yates had to say about Mr. Comey?
Well, one of the things we found out was she blamed Jim Comey for going rogue. She also said she would not have signed that warrant knowing that there were so many inaccuracies. She said there were 7, not 17. Still, she wouldn't have signed it, so she admits there were the inaccuracies. And Shannon, she also said in response to a question I asked, do you think that agents who knowingly falsified information should be held accountable, removed, face jail time? And she agrees for those that knowingly gave false information, they should be held to account and face time or be removed, to lose their jobs. And this is important because they've all kind of had this shield protecting themselves. They circle the wagons. And now you have Rosenstein, you have Yates, and they both have turned on Comey. They are saying, Sally Yates said today that she was relying on information from her briefers. Well, our question now is, let's bring these briefers in because somebody had information in there they knew was inaccurate. So every time we do one of these hearings, we get a little bit more information to find out who was doing something wrong. And quite frankly, I was astounded that Sally Yates was not curious about why Jim Comey kept cutting her out. I mean, she should have stood up there and defended her position and said, hey, why are you doing this? You're going around me. You're briefing the president. You are cutting me out. If you're going to go to the White House, you come through me. But she didn't do that. And I think it points to that incestuous relationship that had grown to be with that group of elites. They didn't question one another. They just took for granted that they were all kind of protecting one another. Sally Yates even said she never heard anybody say, you know, she had no suspicion on the Orrs, or she didn't know anything about people trying to take down President Trump, which is very hard to imagine how that could happen.
Yeah, and she said today that she didn't think that the president or vice president had anything to say in the meeting that would have, she said it would have raised my hackles. It would have gotten my attention had I thought that they were trying to do something political in nature. But let me ask you this. I mean, we've seen a number of hearings. There are going to be more, but the American people, and a lot of folks I talk to and people who hit me up on social media, do not think anyone who has found wrongdoing, and we have the, you know, the one person who literally changed an email, changed the wording in order to make it say something completely opposite to get, you know, one of these applications. They don't think anybody is actually going to be held accountable or pay a price. So can you guarantee, as a sitting senator on the Senate Judiciary Committee, there will be any kind of accountability?
We're going to get the Durham report, and that is where indictments are going to come. What we were able to do today, and Senator Graham, who chairs the committee, did a great job on this, was to begin to break apart this and show that you've got Rosenstein and Yates blaming Comey now, and she said he went rogue, and then she said she was relying on information from her briefers, so she thought the information she was getting was accurate. So Shannon, that shows she's saying, well, I did nothing wrong, basically. But what we know is there had to be people giving her information that were doing something wrong. We obviously know now James Comey was doing things wrong and against procedures and protocols. Will people be held to account? I think the fact today that she said they should be held to account goes a long way to helping move us down that path.
And we await the Durham report, the information coming from that, but it looks like a lot of these folks are pointing everything at Comey. We'll see what happens in the end. Senator, good to have you back. Thank you for being with us.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
All right, Florida